Good evening. I'm Chair Haggerty, and this is our regular board meeting for November 29, 2022. Regular meeting of the Board of Trustees, the El Paso Community College. You can reach or follow on https://www.youtube.com/user/goepcc. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Pam, please do the roll call.
Yes, sir. Mr. Uxer.
Here.
Ms. Sanchez.
Here.
Dr. Graham.
Here.
Ms. Naheda.
Here.
Mr. Haggerty.
Here. 1.4, Pam?
Approval of minutes, item 1.4.1, regular meeting of September 28th, 2022, special meeting of October 5th, 2022, and 1.4.3, regular meeting of October 20th, 2022.
Move to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Naheda.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye. I'd like to welcome all our guests and staff members. 1.6, Pam?
We do not have anyone signed up at this time.
1.7?
Item 1.7, presentations by individuals, groups, and organizations. Item 1.7.1, Dr. William Serrata, College President, will recognize individuals who have retired from El Paso Community College.
Chair Haggerty and members of the board, we have one retiree this evening. I'm going to ask Mr. Alex Hernandez, Director for Human Resource Development, to join me. Mr. Alex Hernandez has been the Director of Human Resource Development at the college since March of 2003. Under the leadership of the late Dr. Ernst Roberts and currently Vice President Josette Shaughnessy, Mr. Hernandez has over 35 years of human resource development experience and has spoken at universities, organizations, and professional business groups. He has been responsible for the leadership and administration of the Human Resources Development Department, which has developed, created, and delivered an amazing number of workshops for EPCC employees and students ranging from human relations, communication, change management, wellness, and motivation. Employees and students have benefited from the workshops that Alex has provided, and over 95% of the workshops he delivered were rated as good to excellent. Mr. Hernandez was responsible for the leadership and management of 20 very successful annual staff development retreats. Employees who attended these events spoke highly of their experiences and returned to their jobs motivated and inspired. He founded EPCC Toastmasters, an organization that helps people with leadership and public speaking skills, where he served as president until the end of his term. In June 2003, he achieved the Gold Award recognition for public speaking from Toastmasters International. He was also a member of the EPCC Diversity Council and the Hispanic Heritage Committee for over 18 years. During the 2021 pandemic, the department shifted from face-to-face training to online presentations to ensure that employees continued getting quality training. Impromptu, Mr. Hernandez created a program to educate employees and supervisors on conducting and performing remote work from home. In 2008, he was awarded the Hispano Triunfador by the McDonald's Corporations for his contributions to youth education. He served as a Classified Staff Association liaison for 7 years and completed 2 programs of the Advanced EPCC Leadership Academy, one in 2006 and another in 2016. Mr. Hernandez is a lifelong learner and has read over 300 books to enhance the delivery of his programs, and has shared that his purpose in life is to be happy, to be hopeful, and to make a difference in this world. He wishes to thank Vice President Shaughnessy, her leadership team, his staff, Ms. Mari Reyes and Ms. Hilda Mendoza, and the EPCC family for their support during these past 19 years. We thank you for 21 years of service to the district and wish Mr. Hernandez the best in this new chapter of his life. Congratulations.
No, I don't know if he's going to miss it. Broken him down each time.
Yes. Let's hope they do it this year.
I don't think so. We're going around.
I thought you were going to say so.
Oh, me? Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure. Right in the middle. Oh.
Another one. Thank you. Thank you.
In honor of our great win over Iran today in soccer, Ruben, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, Pam, 1.7.2.
Item 1.7.2, Dr. Sarata will recognize the student athletes who recently competed in the National Junior College Athletic Association Division I Cross Country and Half Marathon National Championships.
Chair Haggerty, I'd like to call on our athletic director, Mr. Felix Hinojosa, to recognize our great student athletes. He will provide the context. I certainly appreciate being on the agenda, but it really is Mr. Hinojosa and his team that does all the work with our student athletes. And so I'd like to call him to the podium to recognize our student athletes.
You see?
Everybody here? Make sure everybody.
Coach, they're all bigger than you now.
And they're prettier too. That's a good thing. Thank you very much, Dr. Serrata, Board, Chair Haggerty, for allowing me this short little moment to actually brag about some really wonderful individuals. And for us to have the success that we have, I think it's also good to recognize the people that allow us to do our work. Assistant cross-country coach Miguel Bonilla. Assistant cross-country coach Sergio Talavera. Volunteer coach Mike Kennedy. And this other person, although she's not a coach, I would be lost without her. She coordinates travel, she does everything. All right, she even takes down possible scoring for our teams when they race, and she's actually pretty accurate. Miss Amy Goldner. When you're part of the team, you're part of the team. We started off with the region championships, NJCAA Region 5 Whack-Jack champions in Hobbs, Region 5 Whack-Jack champions team for the men. We won the region by 2 points and the Whack-Jack by 1 point, and we had a all Region 5 all Whack-Jack champion Adams B. Watt. We also had 3 all-Region 5, all Whack-Jack honors. So they're like an All-American, but at the region level, that would be Israel David, Amos Diego, Jarrett Catchmark, Jarrett. Israel's in class. Yeah. I think you all know how I feel about academics, right? We then went on 2 weeks later to compete at the National Junior College Championship in Tallahassee. We landed just as the hurricane hit, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of rocking and rolling. To those that had never traveled on a plane before, you should have seen the faces. But it was good. It's a good experience, I think. At the NJCA cross country, we missed a podium finish third by 1 point, but we felt that we did fairly well since we were ranked that high at that time. We are now ranked fourth in the nation. The NJCA All-American for that race is Adams Biwat. Who was fourth in the race, and he covered 5 miles in 24 minutes and 38 seconds.
Wow.
3 days later,
Wow.
we run 13.1 miles. We race on Saturday, we recover Sunday, hopefully on Monday, Tuesday morning, we're at it again. So it's a very tough racing schedule. We tied We tied Northwest Kansas. Both of us had 18 points, and when a tie happens, you go to the next man, and their next man was ahead of us by 10 seconds. They keep reminding me. So we were runner-up at the NJCA half marathon. We had 2 NJCA All-Americans, Amos Diego, and this is the trophy, and Adams Biwat. Now, both gentlemen covered the course in 1 hour and 7 minutes, 19 and 1:07:27. That's 13.1 miles, right? We then move over to the ladies. Same thing with the region. We held at Hobbs, New Mexico in October. We had an all-region individual champion, Faith Knight. Where's Faith? Faith successfully defended her title. Right. We also had 2 all-region 5 all-WAC Jack honors, Alondra Valles, who's in class, and Crystal Peterson. Both of these are freshmen, so I'm really excited about that. We then moved on to nationals, and as a team, we ranked 6th, which was pretty good since we didn't crack the top 10 all season. At the NJCA race, Faith defended her national title. There's only been 3 people in NJCA history that have won back-to-back championships, covering the 3.1-mile course in 1747. Wow. She's also an NJCA cross-country All-American. As we move forward again, 2 days later in the morning, and the words aren't here to explain the dominance of this young lady when she ran the half marathon. At mile 3, she was already 3 minutes ahead of the rest of them. She finished 13.1 miles in 1 hour and 19 minutes, almost 8 minutes ahead of the next competitor, and defended her half marathon title, and is also an All-American. Okay? The United States Track and Field Cross Country Coaches Association for the West Region voted the Male Athlete of the Year, Mr. Adams Biwat. For the same United States Track and Field Cross Country Coaches Association, the West Region athlete, the Women's West Region Athlete of the Year is Faith. And she was also voted by the organization as the Women's Athlete of the Year. Repeating her success as she did last year. She was also Women's of the Year last year. As we move on, and in closing, it's important to realize that Faith, Adams, and Kelvin, where's Kelvin? Will be leaving us this semester. They'll be graduating. So we've moved graduation up a little. We also have 2 graduating at the end of the spring. So we're going to have about a 99 to 98% graduation rate for this group. The rest will graduate in the summer of the first summer session.
Wow.
All right. And both of them that are graduating, all 3 of them are 3-point GPA or better. Right now, Faith is being recruited by Middle Tennessee, A&M at Corpus Christi, Alabama, North Carolina, there's a list. There's a list. Adams, I think, has decided to go to NMSU. NMSU, where he will get a 3-2 scholarship, which means he'll have 3 years to compete to finish off his bachelor's. If he does that, which I know he will, he will then start his master's.
Wow.
And, you know, it's education first. Thank you very much for your time and for your support.
That is so impressive.
All right, Pam, 1.7.3.
Item 1.7.3, optional presentations will be made by the presidents of the Classified Staff Association, the Professional Staff Association, the Faculty Association, and the Student Government Association.
Chair Haggerty, as those members come up, I'd like to call on Dr. Amaya to recognize one other individual from our teams that didn't get recognition currently. Please, Dr. Amaya.
Also, Chair Haggerty, Board, Dr. Serrata. Before everybody leaves, AD Hinojosa is a very humble person. Every time we try to offer him congratulations, he always defers to the team. You understand academics is first, athletics is second, but he succeeds with his team in both areas. And that's recognized over and over again. And again this year, Coach Hinojosa was named Regional Coach of the Year, West Region Coach of the Year. So I think we ought to recognize and thank him for all the good work.
Thank you, Dr. Amaya.
Congratulations, coach and players. It's amazing.
Anybody going to talk to us from classified staff or faculty? Nothing happened last month?
Hello.
Hello?
Good evening, Dr. Serrata, Board Chair Judge Haggerty, and esteemed board members, staff, and guests. The Student Government Association held meet and greets during October and November, where we gave out drinks and snacks to the students, while we also had games and activities for them to play, and it gave them the opportunity to interact with us as students, not just student government. We have been registering students to vote at the events we have held and assisted with other events, and we currently have registered 75 students so far. We also collaborated with Campus Life for the return of the ghost tours at the Rio Grande campus. We guided the tourists and managed crowd control throughout the event. We were also able to work with the student ambassadors and student learning services, or service learning students, during this event. This allowed us a great opportunity to highlight our historic Rio Grande campus and a fun way to interact with our students and the community. Finally, we would also like to highlight that on October 21st, El Paso Community College was recognized as a smoke-free campus by El Paso del Norte Health Foundation. Thank you for your time.
Before you sit down, why don't you introduce the two people with you?
The two people next to me, on my right is my Vice President, Armando Baca. I didn't introduce myself at the beginning. My name is David Zamora. I'm the President. And on my left, I have Valle Verde Senator Janelle Contreras.
Members of the board, Mr. President, Vice Presidents, Deans, guests, both live and in cyberspace. As we come to the end of our first semester of a return to some semblance of normalcy after the virus madness, it is my view as a faculty member that the semester went about as well as reasonably could be expected. I'm sure some improvements could be accomplished, but overall the semester appeared to proceed fairly smoothly. I trust this trend will continue in the spring and will continue after that until we are totally back to pre-virus conditions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Brown.
Good evening, Chair Haggerty, members of the board, President Serrata, staff, and guests. I'm Laura Gaither, President of the Classified Staff Association. I would like to express our gratitude and thank the Board of Trustees, President Serrata, and Cabinet for the winter employee incentive we will be receiving in December. We would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Alex Hernandez of Human Resources Development for his time and service as CSA liaison to the classified staff and wish him farewell as he retires from the college. Consequently, we would like to welcome Mr. Fernando Mata. He will be our new CSA liaison. We are glad to report we had a successful turkey drive on November 18th. A total of $777.84 was raised, which was used to purchase 45 turkeys. 2 additional turkeys were donated for a total of 47 turkeys to donate within our community. 15 turkeys were donated to the Price Center, which serves youth in foster care between the ages of 16 to 25. 16 turkeys were donated to El Buen Pastor in Horizon, and 16 were donated to Our Lady of Guadalupe in Fabens, both which serve families with food pantries during the holidays. Additional CSA fall projects include a food donation at the beginning of November worth $200 to the Mission del Paso snack table located in the Instructional Lab Center. This snack table is for any student or staff member that is hungry and is lacking funds to purchase a meal. We will also be making a $200 donation worth of goods to the EPCC Tejano Food Pantry. Moving on to an upcoming CSA-sponsored event, we would like to invite everyone to a holiday dinner and dance on Friday, December 16th at the El Paso Municipal Officers Association at the Lanahan Hall. Please make this a great event by joining us. Tickets are available at all campus cashiers. Don't miss out on this opportunity to get your nails done and hair done, or to put on your guapo shoes and get out on the town to start the winter break. Enjoy and dance. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
1.8, Pam?
Item 1.8, Communications. Item 1.8.1, Discussion and Review regarding data, statistics, policies, and general information related to the El Paso Community College by the Board of Trustees. I believe this item is not going to be addressed this evening. Item 1.9, Board of Trustees Business. Item 1.9.1 will be taken after executive session. Item 1.9.2, Discussion and take possible action regarding changing the Board of Trustee meeting dates.
So Chair Haggerty and members of the board, January is going to be, the session will begin in January, and we're currently scheduled to have our Board of Trustees meeting on Wednesday, January the 25th. That is corresponding time with the Texas Association of Community Colleges quarterly board meeting. So I'd ask the board to consider changing the January board meeting.
Thursday?
Do you have a proposed date?
I would propose Monday, the 23rd, if that's possible. If not, Monday, the 30th or the 31st, whichever works for the board.
January the 23rd?
Yeah, Monday, January 23rd, and/or Monday, the 30th, or Tuesday, the 31st.
I'm open all.
We can poll the board. Is that allowable, Mr. Ortega? We can pull the board and then confirm that. I know you each need to check your respective calendars.
Okay, so.
You don't want to decide now?
Totally up to you, Dr. Graham.
I'm okay with any of those dates.
Me too.
Okay, the 23rd.
23rd,
Yep,
23rd, 33rd.
23rd.
January 23rd.
Yes.
Since it's an action item, we would need a motion, a second, and the
Okay. I hear a motion.
So made January 23rd for the January meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham, Dr. Grant. Ms. Nájera.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye. 1.10.
Item 1.10, board reports. Item 1.10.1, treasurer's report. Treasurer's report of August 31st, 2022, and treasurer's report of September 30th, 2022.
I hear a motion.
Motion to approve?
There's no
action?
motion.
Yeah, these are just for information only.
No action on the treasurer's report?
Nope.
Wow, we just take it for granted. Huh?
Item 1.10.2, President's Report. Item 1.10.2.1, Dr. William Serrata, College President, will update the Board of Trustees and audience on recent events that have transpired at El Paso Community College to include an update on the COVID-19 pandemic and appropriate actions taken.
Chair Haggerty and members of the board, I'd like to start my report by congratulating two of our early college high schools, Northwest and Valle Verde Early College High Schools. Both schools received an A, the highest letter grade possible of 30 El Paso public high schools. The data is part of Niche's annual Best Schools report, which ranks high schools based on categories such as academics, teachers, resources, and activities. The list was released by the research company Niche, which analyzes that data from sources like the U.S. Department of Education. Congratulations to Principals Frank Clark and Principal Penelope Bankston on this great accomplishment. I'd like to recognize a number of attorneys from Scott Hulse. Ms. Rosemary Marin and Mr. Francisco Ortega were both recognized as 2022 Texas Super Lawyers, and congratulations to Mr. Blake Downey, who's with us this evening as well, for being chosen as a 2022 Texas Rising Star. Every year, no more than 5% of lawyers in the state are selected for the Super Lawyer list, and no more than 2.5% are named to the Rising Star list. Super Lawyers is a rating service which recognizes outstanding lawyers with a high degree of peer recognition and professional achievement. Congratulations to Ms. Marin, Mr. Ortega, and Mr. Downey. The Emergency Medical Services Program and Medical Assistance Program faculty conducted a 2-week flu vaccine campaign throughout the 5 campuses, as well as the Administrative Services Center. A total of 572 vaccines were administered to our community. The flu vaccine was provided free of charge to everyone, including students, faculty, and staff, through our great partnership with the City of El Paso and the El Paso Fire Department. Thank you. I also got my vaccine. The Commission on Accreditation for Respiratory Care commended and awarded our EPCC Respiratory Care Technology Program with continued accreditation following our 2022 annual report submission. The Respiratory Care Technology Program exceeded all set thresholds for success on the required outcome measures. Congratulations to Professor and Program Coordinator Frederick Torres and the discipline faculty for this recognition and great work training our students to become the best respiratory care therapists in the El Paso area. In an effort to introduce newer generations to the different programs offered at EPCC, the Music Language Institute and Advertising, Graphic, and Design disciplines participated in the 11th Annual Socorro Independent School District's Father and Son Conference. The conference brought fathers and sons together to bond and explore topics such as career choices, college opportunities, and internet safety, as well as participate in self-esteem and self-confidence workshops. Participants had a variety of sessions to select from during the conference. Thank you to these amazing programs for participating in the conference that will benefit a future generation of students. The music discipline held its first student ensemble concert on October 12th at the Valle Verde campus in the new Flexitorium. Music professors put this concert together to showcase their students' talents and lessons learned. This year, the experience was enhanced by the new facilities. The Flexitorium officially opened its door this semester, and it was the first time the students in the music discipline held a performance in the new facility. Nearly 50 choir, concert band, orchestra, jazz band, guitar ensemble, and mariachi students participated. Thank you to our faculty who led and organized the concert, including Dr. Alina Vasquez, District-wide Coordinator, Dr. Melissa Garola, Dr. Yasmin Flores, Mr. Daniel Becker, Mr. Fernando Lechuga, and Dr. Angie Morton-Thornton. This past October, EPCC hosted the Fall 2022 Early College High School Leadership Council meeting with 46 members in attendance. The agenda included welcoming remarks by Dr. Steve Smith and Dr. Carlos Amaya, and presentations by our own Dr. La Chica Chavez and Mary Beth Hahn, Dr. Donna Eckel from Educate Texas, and school spotlights by Mr. Frank Clark and Ms. Barbara Brinkley Lopez, principals at Northwest Early College High School and Trans Mountain Early College High School, respectively. Congratulations on the great event. The Texas Association for the Education of Young Children is offering a Teacher Education and Compensation Helps scholarship for students to educate and retain early childhood practitioners. EPCC, in partnership with UTEP, is recruiting students into the teacher preparation program. Eligibility criteria for students to qualify for the scholarships are a high school diploma or GED, earning less than $20 an hour, and being employed at least 30 hours per week at a licensed child care center or a registered family child care home. The scholarship awards range from $200 to $1,000. Congratulations to the teacher prep, Professor Isela Castañón Williams, who's leading this effort. In partnership with Microsoft, Dr. Christian Servin and Ms. Nadia Karichev are leading the Hack the Border project, which includes virtual cybersecurity workshops held in October and a 2-day hackathon scheduled in November. The target audience would be anyone with interest in cybersecurity. Non-majors are also welcome to participate. Focus of this series is to work on real-world problems in El Paso and Ciudad Juarez region and provide creative solutions that will provide students, educators, industry, and leaders from both countries an opportunity to collaborate. The EPCC Trans Mountain campus celebrated Dia de los Muertos on November 1st. The Trans Mountain Day of the Dead event was a successful multicultural celebration that offered music, crafts, games, food, and activities. The EPCC Culinary Arts Department offered a pan de muerto, a type of bread baked in Mexico during the weeks leading up to the Day of the Dead. The Trans Mountain Library staff offered guests coffee and tamales while offering books related to the Day of the Dead folklore and traditions. Cosmetology department interpreted the Day of the Dead as face painting. Trans Mountain Business Lab did a remarkable job of creating an altar used as a shrine in the middle of the campus, decorated with photographs, personal belongings, candles, sugar skulls, pan de muerto, flowers, incense, and more. Other departments such as our fashion department, Campus Life, and the EPCC Diversity Program also participated. Congratulations to everyone on a great event. For the Red Ribbon Week celebration at Alarcon Elementary, the college readiness mentors and Lieutenant Daniel Chavez from the police department gave a speech about how to live a healthy life and promote positive behavior and self-esteem to students from 3rd through 5th grades. The college readiness mentors also participated in a parent-teacher graduation plan at Garcia Enriquez Middle School, and where they had a table set up to answer questions or concerns parents may have related to EPCC and the early college program. Our students continue to represent EPCC well. Student designs by Alejandra Acosta and Kendra Brown were featured at the El Paso Museum of Art for their annual Dia de los Muertos celebration, which reported over 8,000 visitors in attendance. Fashion alumni Ulysses Lopez was highlighted by Armani on 5th Avenue in New York City as a top sales leader. Sebastian Gonzalez has been named technical designer for the Vlexen brand, a local and national streetwear sensation. Finally, EPCC fashion students participated in the Texas International Fashion Week hosted by BMW. Students learned about fashion show production and had an opportunity to showcase their talents. Congratulations to our students for their great success and to our faculty who helped make this success possible. The college has been selected once again as one of 30 finalists by the Bellwether College Consortium for the highly coveted Bellwether Awards. EPCC's first-year experience has been recognized with this honor. The first-year experience specializes in academic coaching and advising for first-time in college students. Bellwether finalists represent leading community colleges whose outstanding and innovative programs and practices were selected among competitive submissions as exemplary. The finalists will undergo a rigorous second and final round of review at the 2023 Community College Futures Assembly, which will be held in February of '23. We're grateful for the partnership we continue to have with SISD. Earlier this month, SISD hosted EPCC for an EPCC night at the SAC. I appreciate the opportunity of doing the ceremonial coin toss start the Socorro Bulldogs versus the America's Trailblazers game. I'd like to thank Mr. Talamantes and the recruitment department for interacting with potential students. Since the last board meeting, I've participated in over 70 virtual and/or in-person meetings, including 4 Texas Association of Community College meetings. Included was a legislative committee meeting. I co-chaired the Business Advisory Council meeting with Mr. Hunt, participated as a panelist for the webinar on Texas Community College Finance Commission recommendations, and we held a TAC officers board meeting. Attended the Hurdy Conference in New Jersey, and then attended the ACCT Leadership Congress to accept the 2022 Western Region Equity Award alongside Chair Haggerty, Dr. Graham, Ms. Sanchez, Ms. Robles, and Ms. Nájera. Thank you all for representing the board. Attended the Opportunity Youth Data Summit at UTEP. Served as a keynote presenter for the Mexican American School Board Association webinar at the invitation of Dr. and Representative Mary Gonzalez. Participated in an interview with El Paso Matters with Danny Perez, a reporter for Texas Higher Education, on the Texas Community College Finance Commission recommendations. Attended a Finance Committee meeting for Excelencia in Education. Attended the Lumina Board meeting in Indianapolis. Attended the Humanities Texas Fall Board meeting in Austin, and chaired the El Paso Collaborative for Academic Excellence Board meeting at El Paso ISD. Participated in the OSHA Ambassador signing ceremony yesterday. Hosted a legislative luncheon with Mayor Oscar Leeser and Senior Chief of Staff Estrella Escobar, and was joined by Dr. Graham. Attended and addressed school board members and superintendents at a district leadership reception hosted by Dr. Heather Wilson, the UTEP president, at the Hoover House, and was also joined by Dr. Graham. Thank you, Dr. Graham. And attended an Aspen Rising President Fellowship session. Would like to conclude my report by providing a COVID update. Unfortunately, we continue to see an upward trend in daily cases. We're currently averaging 271 cases per day, which is significantly higher than the 210 cases that we averaged the prior 2-week period. We currently stand at 84.6% of our population age 5 or older that's fully vaccinated, and 99.9% of the population that's received their first vaccination. The 7-day average hospitalization rate is now reported daily. It currently stands at 5% and has risen over the last 3 weeks from 2 to 5%. To summarize, our daily cases continue to see an upward trajectory, currently averaging 271 cases. Vaccinations continue to slowly increase. And as a reminder, the most important metric currently is the 7-day average hospitalization rate, which is at 5%. The benchmark for this rate is 15%. We will continue to monitor, and we will adjust and make recommendations to the board should we need to if we approach that 15% in our community. Currently, I continue to recommend to the board that we continue in phase 4 of our return to campus plan, which we have been in since Monday, August 15th. Phase 4 of our return to campus plan has the college operating at full capacity. We will continue to monitor the data, keep the Board of Trustees informed of any recommended changes for your consideration, and I'm happy to answer any questions or concerns from the board. But that concludes my report, Chair Haggerty.
Any questions? You did have Thanksgiving dinner.
I did.
Oh,
Yes, twice.
pretty busy. Okay, Pam, 1.11.
Item 1.11, consent docket. This includes item 3.2.
Have a motion?
So made.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez?
Aye.
Dr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nájera?
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty?
Aye.
Item 2.0, administration. The El Paso County Community College District policies and TASB policies. Item 2.1, TASB CB local policy is presented for first reading and approval.
Move to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez?
Aye.
Dr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nájera?
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty?
Aye.
Section 3, personnel. Item 3.1, discussion and action to approve full-time staff and faculty recruited in positions funded by the institutional budget.
Move to approve.
Yep. Any discussion? Call a question?
Mr. Uxer?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez?
Aye.
Dr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Naheda?
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty?
Aye.
Item 3.3, information items, resignations and retirements, no action is needed. Section 4, financial services, item 4.1, discussion and action on the approval to award a contract to Dell Marketing LP for the purchase of desktop computers, computer monitors, and laptops for district-wide use in an amount not to exceed $984,000 for an initial period of 1 year.
Move to approve 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3.
I have a second?
Second.
Okay, go ahead.
Chair Haggerty, Dr. Serrata, I just wanted to offer a point of clarification on item 4.1. Earlier today, staff brought to my attention that on item 4.1, you'll see that the proposal for the award to Dell Marketing is for $984,000, and it states for an initial period of 1 year. In looking at the abstract, the contract award will be for an initial period of 1 year with an option to renew on an annual basis for 2 additional years. So I just wanted to make sure that the board doesn't draw a conclusion that this is just a 1-year contract. It's a 1-year contract with the option to exercise 2 1-year options. So it's $984,000 potentially for times 3, for 3 different years.
It was $984,000 per year.
Per year, that's correct, annually.
And the options to renew, they come back to us for approval?
That's not my understanding. If you approve the contract award, you're giving the staff the discretion to go back and if, I think it also says, upon satisfactory vendor performance and administrative approval for potential maximum award of 3 years.
But it does have that option to renew on an annual basis for 2 additional years. But again, the question is, but it does come back over here for the renewal, right?
I haven't looked at
That's the way I understand it, because it says, or the way I understood it, the contract award will be for an initial period of 1 year with an option to renew on an annual basis for 2 additional years upon satisfactory vendor performance and administrative approval for a potential maximum contract term of 3 years.
There's no contract that has been written up yet, so I'll defer to Mr. Gallardo to address that issue.
Yes, Dr. Graham. When we state administrative approval, the administration reviews the performance of the vendor, and if it's satisfactory, the administration renews it. That's different than when we say with board approval. That means that we would come back to the board for years 2 and 3. But this says administrative approval.
Can we change it so that it does come before the board?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it would be then a motion, to revise the motion would be a motion to approve with the change of the
Or approval.
exercising the options to renew upon satisfactory vendor performance and board approval.
Correct.
Any other discussions?
Nope.
Go ahead and read 4.2 and 4.3, Pam.
Item 4.2. Put my glass. Did you have a question, Mr. Uxer?
I was just wondering, it said the explanation is NTE. Would you, not to exceed, is that what NTE stands for?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I want to make sure.
And if I may clarify also that it's mentioned on the abstract that it's on an as-needed basis, so it's not that, so we're anticipating or we're estimating that will be the maximum amount, but it's only an as-needed basis. That means we will not be expending that annually per se.
And where are you targeting this equipment to, different campuses or?
Yes, ma'am, this will be so that anybody in the district can make a purchase of any computer or laptops through this approval.
Is this new as well as stuff that's aging off?
This is to replace obsolete equipment. Yes, sir.
Do we have the ones set by Yvette already working?
The ones, are you referring to the one in the new building? Yes, ma'am. They've been operational since the start of the semester.
This semester?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 4.2, discussion and action on the approval of the renewal of a campus-wide annual support agreement with Oracle America Incorporated in the amount of $380,332. And item 4.3, discussion and action on the approval to purchase equipment and services from Key Code Media Incorporated for an Oasis system in the amount of $189,900.
Any discussion on those two items?
Nope.
Call the question, Pam.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. Naheda,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Section 5, facilities, physical facilities, there is none. Section 6, curriculum and instruction, item 6.1, discussion and action on the acceptance of the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board Carl D. Perkins Basic Grant in the amount of $807,880.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Any discussion? Anybody have to do anything for that, or do they just give it to us?
Dr. Amaya, you want to chime in, or AVP Primozic?
Sure, we apply every year, right? So it's, we have to go seek the funds. And we give reports annually as well and make sure that we're using the funds.
Who writes the reports?
Well, this Carl Perkins is extensive. I mean, there's lots of different areas. So there are a couple of different areas under my division, AVP Primozic, lots of deans. So it's a coordinated effort with the Grants Management Office.
Okay, well, tell them all congratulations. Keep up the good work. We could use a little extra if they can work at it. Okay, we have a motion to approve in a second. Any other discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. Naheda,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye. 6.2.
Item 7.1,
6.2.
6.
oh, I'm sorry. Item 6.2, discussion and action on the approval of a cooperative agreement from the University of Texas at San Antonio in the amount of $65,000.
Have a motion?
Move to approve?
Second?
Any discussion? Nope. Call the question.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. Naheda,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Okay. Section 7, Student Services, item 7.1, discussion and action on the acceptance of a grant from the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board in the amount of $583,333.
Move to approve?
Have a second?
Second?
Any discussion?
Just a question, what do we use that money for?
So, Mr. Uxer, this is additional funds to help students who are Title IV eligible, so that are receiving financial aid.
Oh, okay.
Any other discussion? Whoever wrote that grant, tell them. Thank you very much. Call the question.
Go ahead. Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. Naheda,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 7.2, discussion and action on the approval of continuing education tuition rates for new courses.
Have a motion?
Move to approve?
Have a second?
Second?
Any discussion?
Is this the first time we offered this blueprint reading?
Actually, Dr. Graham, it's yes and no. And I agree that this stands out as different from our normal offerings. Anything that carries the course prefix WSI, that's our Workforce Strategic Initiatives, and these are all courses that are funded from the Texas Workforce Commission under these skills development grants that we bring to you.
So would those students that take those courses be mostly from the workforce referrals?
So actually, these are incumbent workers for area industries. And so the tuition is being paid for through the grant. And this is also a course fee and not necessarily a per-student fee.
Oh.
And so all of this is worked out in the grant proposal that we submit to TWC, and once they award it, we're allowed to go forward with that tuition rate. But because it is a continuing education tuition course, there is a WECM component to it, so that's state-funded as well. We bring this to you for approval. But yes, this is not an out-of-pocket cost to the student. This is grant-funded.
Yeah, because it's pretty high if it was per student. Thank you, sir.
And I absolutely assumed you would pick up on it.
Any other questions? Call a question.
Mr. Uxer?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez?
Aye.
Dr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Naheda?
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty?
Aye.
Item 7.3, discussion and action on the approval of continuing education tuition rates for revised courses.
Move to approve?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez?
Aye.
Dr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Naheda?
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty?
Aye.
Okay. Section 8, Community Services, there are none. Would the board like to go into executive session?
Yep.
The Board of Trustees may conduct an executive or closed session pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code for one or more of the following reasons. Consultation with its attorney to seek or receive legal advice or consultation regarding pending or contemplated litigation or for any purpose authorized by law. Discussion about the value or transfer of real property. Discussion about a prospective gift or donation. Consideration of specific personnel matters. Discussion about security, personnel, or devices, or discussion of certain economic development matters. The board may also announce that it will go into executive session on any item listed on this agenda if the subject matter is permitted for a closed session by provisions of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. Any vote regarding these items shall be taken in open session. Item 1.3.1, discussion with legal counsel regarding yearly Title IX report and related matters in accordance with Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. Item 1.3.2, discussion with legal counsel regarding the college's internal assessment on readiness and preparedness for active attacker incidents pursuant to Section 551.076 of the Texas Government Code. Item 1.3.3, discussion with legal counsel regarding elevators at Valle Verde campus pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. The time is 5:26 p.m., and the board is now in executive session.
Okay, the board is back in regular session, out of executive session. Pam, can you please read 1.9.1, please?
Yes, and I'd just like to make note of the time. It's 6:11 p.m. Item 1.91.1, discussion and take possible action regarding yearly Title IX report and related matters.
No action. No action on that item. The other issue is we will have our next board meeting on January the 23rd at 4 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
At 4 o'clock here in January. So we can adjourn now.
We're going to move it from 4 to 4:30, 4:30 to 4. I'm just curious.
4:30.
Normally 4:30.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Judge, do we have the board retreat already scheduled?
We do on the 13th, Bonnie. December 13th. At what time?
Thank you.
Can you make it?
12 noon was what we sent out.
12 noon. That's a Wednesday?
It is a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday. It's got to be. Graduation's the 9th.
The 9th, that's correct.
10th, 11th. It's what?
Tuesday.
Okay, it's on Tuesday the 13th, Bonnie. Can you make it?
Actually, no, I'll be in Austin for work. I'm better by then. I should be.
You what?
Make sure that we pull the board.
Okay,
I'll
you're
be
gonna
in
poll?
Boston for work,
Okay.
so
Pam's gonna poll the board and see if we can get a better date.
thank you.
Okay. So January the 23rd, do I have a motion for adjournment?
Adjourn?
Huh? All right. All agreed? Aye.
Thank you also.
All right. The time is 6:13, and the board meeting is adjourned.